KTOCO Sports welcomes you to our coverage of high school basketball, where the Hardin Northern Polar Bears will take on the Bremen Cardinals. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Precision Strip, Winners Meats, Grand Lake Health Systems, Speedway Lanes, and NK Telco. You're looking live here at the Nest at New Bremen High School. My name's Brandon Coderman, alongside me, Jeff Hinchin, where the Hardin Northern Polar Bears are going to take on the New Bremen Cardinals. And first, Jeff, taking a look here at Hardin Northern, coming here 1-6 out of the Northwest Conference. Their lone win this season over Calvary Christian, 52-45. Sitting at 1-6, looking to try to get their second win of the season here.
Well, they're going to drive an hour here to New Bremen to try to do that, and they're going to have their hands full. And Hardin Northern also had some injuries due to football and such, so they're still trying to work through that with getting guys back and in the roles they want to be in, but they continue to compete. They've had some rough games, if you mentioned. Their last game was against Macomb, a 3-point loss, so had a chance of winning opportunity there, but going to try to straighten it out tonight. Hope the puzzle pieces go together a little bit better and maybe get a little bit of a hot streak and get some rhythm started against a Bremen team that's pretty good. The Cardinals a tough loss last night.
Yeah, tough loss to Elida in double overtime, and a New Bremen team that's sitting at a 2-5 record right now. Let's take a look at this New Bremen team, and I've seen them twice on the game last night against Elida. Not a team that it shows a 2-5 record. They're better than that. They've played some pretty stiff competition to start here.
Yeah, their first loss of the season was by 4 to Ottoville, then 16 to a good St. Mary's team, then 8 to Versailles, 4 to Jonathan Alder last weekend, and then you mentioned a double overtime loss versus Elida last night by 2 points. So they've had some winnable games. That 2-5 mark, don't take that lightly. Very well could be about a flip-flop, about 5-2 almost. So they're going to try to, again, work to get better and get their rhythm. Need to, I think, hit some free throws better. That's an opportunity. They're an aggressive team, but they need to make sure they take care of the basketball. And I should say their opportunities when they do get to the free throw line.
Yeah, and it's a team that, like I said, Aaron Tiemann, a big leader of this team. They have a lot of other senior leaders as well. Jackson Leonard has stepped up and played well lately. Hayden Zeller hit some clutch free throws last night, and it should be a good battle. We're going to kick it down to the PA announcer. We'll have our national anthem, starting lineups, and keys to the game and tip-off here next on your home for New Bremen Cardinal basketball, NK Telco Sports.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Back here on NK Telco Sports, here getting ready for the starting lineups here for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears and the New Bremen Cardinals, as Cardinals looking to notch their third win of the season. Hardin Northern looking to notch their second win. Let's take a look first, the starters for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. Coming in with a record of 1-6. Number 3, 5'10", junior Mason Stewart. Number 4, Landon Weatherall, a senior at 5'9". A junior, number 11, Nolan Hobson at 5'9". Junior, number 14, at 6 foot, Xander Wilson. And rounding out the line, number 15, a senior, 6'1" post, Cooper Thomas. Head coach of Hardin Northern is Jared Thomas. Now the starting lineups for the New Bremen Cardinals under the direction of Corey Stevens. Number 2, senior Aaron Tiemann. Number 3, a 6'4" senior Jackson Leonards. Number 5, a 6'3" senior forward Keaton Putoff. Number 15, a 5'11" junior Rogan Muther. And rounding out the lineup, number 22, a 6'5" senior Hayden Zeller. Head coach of the New Bremen Cardinals is in his 4th year, Corey Stevens, and the Cardinals at a 2-5 record on the year here. Now we got the starting lineups and all the pregame festivities out of the way. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears.
Coach Thomas would like his team to limit their turnovers. Don't let New Bremen get any offense on live ball turnovers. Also, they want to be strong with the basketball. They know New Bremen's going to play aggressive, so they want to make sure they're strong with it. And also, no easy opportunities for the Cardinals on rebounding as well. So get back on defense, make the Cardinals shoot over you. For the New Bremen Cardinals, they want to set the tone early, maybe prove to the Polar Bears that they're better than the 2-5 record, if you will, and maybe set the tone and the pace early. Execute on both sides of the basketball and respond to what Hardin Northern does. And there's a good start for the Cardinals, Brandon.
And Jackson Leonard's leading scorer last night had 16 points. Had a chance to win that game against Elida last night in that heartbreaker for New Bremen. And was not able to hit the game-winning shot, but led was our NK Toko player of the game last night. 3-pointer off the line, no good there from number 11, Hobson. And New Bremen out and running quickly. It's put off on the right side. He gets it into Zeller, and he gets it taken away. Hobson in transition, 2-on-1, going to try to go right at Tiemann. Can't convert the layup, and Zeller clears the boards.
Boy, nice opportunity for the Polar Bears. Can't capitalize on the steal that they got, and a contested layup off the mark.
Put off 3, no good. Tiemann going to try to sky in for the rebound. Back out from Zeller to Muther in the corner to Aaron Tiemann. He's going to fire a 3 from the corner. Shot no good. Rebound goes down to Hardin Northern.
And Bremen can't capitalize on their offensive opportunities. So both teams, more so the Polar Bears, can't hit the layup to tie it, but
long 3 from the corner, no good there by Wilson. Cardinals will push it up ahead quickly. Entry pass over to Leonards. He's going to be doubled down on the inside, but he's going to lay it in, and Jackson Leonards with the first 2 baskets of this ball game.
He did a nice job maintaining his balance. Turned, it wasn't the angle he liked, and the defender didn't really go for it, so he just kind of squared up, kept the ball high, and had a nice kiss off the glass for, like you said, now his 4th point on 2 for 2 shooting from the field.
A little different defensive look. Traditionally, this New Bremen team's played zone in their couple matchups I've seen them play. Now with a little bit of a half-court trap here that they're implying this game. Rogan Muther with a cross-court pass over to Leonards. Leonards back over to Rogan Muther to Tiemann on the right side. Post-entry pass, Leonards. Will kick it out. Put off from the corner. Shot no good. Zeller on the stick back, though. And wow, really, Jeff, New Bremen owning the offensive glass early.
Well, that's 2 of them that they've already pulled down. That one they put back for 2 points on the bucket by Zeller, and goes back to that Polar Bears missed layup. It wasn't wide open, but boy, it would have been nice for them to get that started. They do capitalize there, breaking down into Bremen press, and Cooper Thomas scores off the glass for the first points for Hardin Northern.
And if you're able to break that press, you're going to get easy layups like that. Cross-court pass, Rogan Muther. He's going to fire a 3. 3-point shooting's not been great, but there's a foul on Hardin Northern. They're going to call push, I believe, on Cooper Thomas.
Yeah, he just did too much trying to body out. I believe it was Zeller or Leonards, one of those guys. Just too much displacement. He picks up the foul, or he's caught in the act of doing it, I should say. His first foul, team's first.
It'll be Rylan Bussey who will check in. Tiemann's open in the corner. They're going to try to get it to Zeller. And Hardin Northern going to turn it over. Hobson in transition. High arcing shot, no good. Too much on it. Leonards clears the boards.
That's a tough shot in transition. Would have been nice for the Polar Bears to get it, but that's a tough shot to make on transition to get it to drop, and the Cardinals will pick up free throws.
Rylan Bussey will head to the line. Free throw has not been one of the strengths here of the Cardinals. They hit some key free throws down the stretch last night to extend that game against Elida, but So far this year, Jeff, the charity stripe's been tough to come by for the Crimson and Gold.
Just 50% from the line. You called the game last night and thought they had some big shots that they did make from the line, and you got to make them. Obviously, you're not going to make all of them, but over the years, it seems like the free throws kind of been that little easy to look at stat to say, boy, if you just would have knocked down some more free throws, you could have been maybe on top as they go 1 of 2 from the line from Bussey.
So Ryland, the junior, splits the pair. 7-2, New Bremen on our First National Bank Think First scoreboard. A rebound down to Hayden Zeller. Zeller in transition over to Tiemann. Back over to Ryland Bussey on the inside. Going up against contact, and Ryland Bussey gets his first field goal of the night.
Well, he took a shot when he caught it, kind of a incidental contact. Had to maintain his balance. He did. Squared up and able to get the shot to drop his 3rd point of the game coming off the bench.
9-2 now our score on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Nearly halfway through this first quarter. Nice post entry on the inside and a nice look at the basket and display of passing there by the Polar Bears.
The assist will go to Xander Wilson, number 14. The bucket will go to Cooper Thomas, but great passing like you said, and Bremen answers right away. Not much time for celebration for the Polar Bears. And Bremen back at it, and they scored the 4th point from Zeller.
And that's what you like to see on offense, is pushing the ball up the floor after a basket's made. You're not trudging to get back on defense. You're trying to set a pace there. And well done there by the Cardinals in a 3-pointer well off the mark. Ryland Bussey going to try to push the fast break. He's going to kick it out to Rogan Muther. Muther going to kick it out to Leonards. Top the key. Fires a 3. It's well short, and Tiemann can't quite track it down and save it. Host of substitutions coming in. Zach Wiedemann going to come in. Number 14, Grant Dickey. And also Gavin Quellhorst. Quellhorst, who's seen more time on the varsity circuit here lately, had a really nice JV game. He had 19 points in the Cardinals' 75-23 victory over Hardin Northern before this varsity game. Shot no good. It's going to stay with Hardin Northern.
You mentioned Quellhorst, Gavin, the sophomore, with 19 in the the JV game, had all 19 of those in the 3rd quarter, correct?
Yeah. Kind
of helped blow open a 10, 12-point game at halftime en route to a Bremen JV route, but getting some more minutes, and when you can score, coach will find a spot for you on the court.
Exactly. And a nice post-entry pass on the inside, or I should say baseline pass over there to Xander Wilson. 11-6 now our score. New Bremen ahead of Hardin Northern. Here on NK Telco Sports in the middle of that Hardin Northern zone. Shot no good by Bussey. It's a good look to get out that zone, though. I mean, even though you're settling for the outside shot.
He was open, wasn't forced. Good ball movement by New Bremen. They made the defense shift and able to pass it faster than the Polar Bears could recover. Shot just didn't go down.
Now we're seeing a little less pressure here. New Bremen dropping back in that 2-3 zone that they're usually accustomed to doing so far this year. Keaton put off at the scores table. Will check in next dead ball. 2:30 to go here in the first quarter. Hardin Northern trying to cut the deficit here, and ball tipped out and will stay with Hardin Northern as Putoff will sub in for Rogan Muther.
Well, this is a chance for Hardin Northern. They're down by 6. It feels like they should be down by more.
Yeah.
But the Bremen hasn't, I won't say the Bremen hasn't put them away, but it's an opportunity here, a basket that could keep the adrenaline, the momentum, if you will, for the Polar Bears a little bit intact. They're going to have to get a stop here. Gavin Quellhorst hit a couple of those shots in the JV game.
And outside shooting hasn't been spectacular so far for New Bremen. 3-pointer. Shot no good. Hobson with a long rebound in transition. Another shot well short there. That shot coming there from Wetherell is no good.
3-pointer from Wetherell?
A 3 and a 2. Yep, gotcha. And a ball pushed up ahead to Keaton Putoff. Nice job by the Crimson and Gold in transition.
They pushed it well, and it was there, and just good movement without the basketball as well. Keaton Putoff made himself available and made it for an easy pass and score.
Initially a good pass just behind Wetherell as he's in the corner. Bremen not trapping now, but they're just dropping back and playing it in the last quarter of the court at 2-3 zone. Trying to get tips and deflections. Hardin Northern making sure they're running that baseline. Good display of passing there. Might have got away with a walk. Shot from 18 foot is no good. And it's going to be against New Bremen. It's going to be a foul against Quellhorst, his first.
Was a nice job of the Polar Bears. Ball movement. Had some opportunities. I thought they were maybe going to go up, but the good collapsing defense by Bremen nullified it, but still good ball movement by the Polar Bears. They still have a chance here. They need to capitalize on that and get a bucket here, get some type of score.
There's a 5-second count that's going to go against Hardin Northern. Great defense. But really, I mean, like you said, it's a 7-point lead, and obviously it's early still. But it seems like Hardin Northern's down more, but they're showing a good display of passing.
They have, and they only have one. That was their first turnover.
Yeah.
And, sometimes when you get down, you have live ball turnovers where it's layups for the enemy. They've not had any live ball turnovers. This is their first, and it's a dead ball turnover, so it gives them a chance to come back, play 5-on-5 defense. Their shooting hasn't been great, but, boy, if it could have, even that last possession, did a nice job passing, just come away with nothing, though. So they kind of letting the Bremen off the hook, so they now trail by 7, and Bremen, a three-pointer here, could put them up by 10.
Ball tipped around. Quellhorst. They're going to,
They will correct it. Dan Furling saw the angle and
I think Coach Thomas confused there, but a nice job by the official to step in and blow it dead there. (13-6) our score as they blow it dead there. But Henry Nelson in the lineup, number 34 for New Bremen, a senior. Reflection will keep it with the Cardinals. A lot of seniors on this roster. Here in Tiemann, Jackson Leonards, Keaton Putoff, Zach Wiedemann, Hayden Zeller, and Henry Nelson. A veteran squad here. Shot up, no good there by Grant Dickey. Nelson gets the steal up ahead to Wiedemann.
Nice hands by Nelson, not only with the contact, but able to control it and get the steal himself.
Jump shot, Quellhorst just falls out, and that's going to be a foul against Ryland Bussey.
Again, an opportunity here for the Polar Bears. I mentioned it when they were down by 5. If they could just get a basket, that I think would help their energy, their momentum. They know they have a kind of an uphill battle tonight, but want to keep it close, stay in distance or stay within range, I guess is the better way to say it, but ticked away there and an opportunity live ball bucket.
And that's going to be a bucket for Zach Wiedemann. And it's 15-6 our score now on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 3 ball from the corner, and Hardin Northern nails it.
Much needed point as New Bremen was beginning to open up the lead, and the bucket right before the buzzer.
15-9 after 8 minutes of play. We'll step aside, come back for the second quarter of action on your home for New Bremen Cardinal basketball and K-Telco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Mr. Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Back here on NK-Telco Sports, after 8 minutes of play, our score, New Bremen 15, Hardin Northern 9, and pretty interesting first quarter there, Jeff.
Yeah, it was just, I still feel like New Bremen should be up by more than 6, but they shot pretty well. The Cardinals did 7 of 16. They forced now just the 4th turnover. Well, yeah, now they get it. Hardin Northern done a nice job. They didn't commit their first turnover until late in the first quarter, but 7 of 16 from the field for the Cardinals.
Nice shot by Aaron Tiemann. Tiemann been one of these leaders on this team when they made their run the other year. I think he was a freshman or a sophomore. I'm trying to remember which team made the regional finals.
Yeah, it was maybe when he was a freshman.
But Tiemann's been a contributor for this New Bremen program for a long time.
He averages 13 points a game. His first bucket there gives him 2 and an 8-point cushion for his team as the Hardin Northern Polar Bears 4 of 16 shooting in the first quarter. Of those 16 shots, they were 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. New Bremen 0 for 7 so far from 3-point range.
Ball on the inside. Northern loses it. Henry Nelson with it. Tiemann with it. Back over to Nelson. He's going to fire a 3. Got it. Henry Nelson nails the 3 and gets in the box score.
That might be his first 3-pointer made of the season.
20-9 our score. And there's a 3-pointer.
Xander Wilson, his second of the game, his back-to-back three-point shots he's made. He's now 2 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Seems like every time you might have a chance to pull away, Hardin Northern's hitting a few shots.
Well, they're going to have to hit some consecutive shots here, kind of climb back in this. Again, Bremen up by 8. Just don't want to fall behind early.
Shot no good by Leonards. Hardin Northern in transition. Out, three-pointer is good.
Hobson, his first bucket of the game. After going 0 for 4 in the first quarter, his first 3 points, and now it's the 5-point lead.
Tiemann with the ball, left wing. He's going to fire a three. It's no good. Ball to the corner, and the rebound cleared there by Mason Stewart. It was a 20-9 game, or a 15-9 Stars. 20-9. It was a couple threes hit back-to-back by Hardin Northern. Nelson with it. Nelson to Tiemann. Over to Leonards. Leonards left wing. And three-point shooting. Been off a little bit for the Cardinals here tonight.
Yeah, they're now 0 for 9. I'm sorry, 1 for 9. Nelson hit the free three-pointer, and a good answer from Xander Wilson, who now has 10 points in the ball game.
And a 20-17, an 8-0 run here for Hardin Northern. Cut the lead down to 3 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And Nelson going to be called for the push-off. Everything going Hardin Northern's way here so far.
First foul on Nelson, first turnover of the quarter for the Cardinals. That's their third of the game.
Coach Corey Stevens wants to talk about it. It's a 30-second timeout. All timeouts this year are brought to you by Precision Strip. We'd like to thank our sponsors here. They're Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Sweeterman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Koki Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. Our timeout sponsors, Precision Strip. Our post-game player of the game will bring to you for New Bremen. It's brought to you by NK Telco. Our mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our New Bremen Live View sponsor here right in New Bremen is Speedway Lane. So out of the Precision Strip timeout, Jeff, an 8-0 run here for Hardin Northern and hitting some shots here, big time from the outside.
Those have come up big now. They have been turning the ball over. That's already their 4th turnover of the quarter. But New Bremen calls timeout. They kind of want to get maybe their starters back on the court and get refocused, but they give it back.
In transition, it's a 10-0 run now. A layup for Cooper Thomas.
Cooper Thomas with 6 points.
Now with their original starting 5 in there, they inbound the ball to the inside, and Hayden Zeller scores. He's up to 6 now. 3
for 3 shooting for Zeller. Great ball movement by the Cardinals. They really flipped the court. Some great passing and a good finish by Zeller.
And he gets the steal there. Nice poke there by the senior Hayden Zeller. Put off. 3 from the corner. No good. Zeller on the stick back. No good. Rebound goes down to the Polar Bears. Bremen coming with a little bit of a double team. They started really getting some traps there early and kind of got away from it as they get a steal there, and Rogan Muther will lay it in. And now all of a sudden we'll get a 30-second timeout here from Coach Jared Thomas. I'd like to remind you that NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of boys high school basketball, on varsity basketball on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app. On Channel 151, you can catch this game January 2nd at 6 p.m. and on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, January 13th at noon and January 15th at noon. You can also watch more games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So now a couple Cardinal baskets, and Coach Thomas feels to shift back on the side of the Crimson and Gold and calls the timeout.
New Bremen's come up with a couple key turnovers here following their timeout, and maybe attitude adjustment, if you will, just to maybe refocus, take a breath, and get back to what you do best. And they've really turned up the pressure here after that timeout and got some consecutive hoops to push the lead back up to 5. And Coach Thomas wants to try to do the same. Settle his team down, take care of the basketball. You know New Bremen is going to be very aggressive, so be strong with the ball. They've done some nice passing. Boy, then they capitalize. They've done some nice work against the New Bremen zone, getting the guy to the backside to his baseline, and then you can turn and make bounce passes to the interior.
Tiemann with the basketball, 3:22 to go here till halftime. Tiemann to the basket. Shot is good and one for Aaron Tiemann. And he'll get a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play.
That's his 4th point of the quarter and a big shot there. The strength to continue through the contact. Personal foul goes against number 4, Landon Wetherill, his team's first of the quarter. Aaron Tiemann from the free throw line this year, 52%. Offensive board, though, kept alive by the Cards.
Put off, cross-court pass. Wiedemann thought about a three. Wiedemann going to try to give it up, and a turnover there.
New Bremen's 3rd turnover of the quarter, their 5th of the game. So New Bremen does come away with points on that possession on the bucket by Tiemann. Can't capitalize on the offensive board, miss free throw, but Northern, again, facing that tough defense, need to make sure they take care of the basketball. Cardinals have picked up the pressure here as of late, and Polar Bears need to make sure they're, I want to almost say patient here. You're still in the game under 3 minutes to go until halftime, so don't feel like you have to score the first time you touch it. You want to get a good look. They pass the ball pretty well at times against the New Bremen zone. So, you know, if you can work the ball around, force New Bremen to have a defensive lapse, you can take advantage of it. But you need to be patient. They're only down by 5.
They've had good passing against that zone, but New Bremen's looking to get tips like that out of it. Ball worked up to Keaton put off. He has a full head of steam to the basket. Tries to get the Euro step, and it's a late foul call. And put off will go to the line and shoot 2.
Contact made by the Polar Bears in the act of shooting on number 11. Number 3. Mason Stewart, his first. 2nd of the quarter, but a 2-shot opportunity for put off. Again, he's just 10 of 21 from the line this year. As a team, New Bremen only shooting at 50%.
Well, go ahead.
Just for put off his 3rd point of the night. He averages 10 points a game plus 4 rebounds.
Horst back in and waiting to come back in is Grant Dickey here. If put off can can the free throw, and he does. Keaton put off up to 4 points now. 28-21 on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Brandon Coburn and Jeff Hinchin giving you the action. One of our last broadcast of 2023. Hoping a whole lot more of good high school basketball in our area in 2024. 3 from the corner is good.
Cooper Thomas. It all started with good dribble penetration by Nolan Hobson getting through the double team. And when I said it started with Nolan Hobson, he forced his way through that New Bremen trap. I mean, it's great he got through for the Polar Bears, but that's when they've been giving up some of their turnovers. He's able to break it down, and then his teammate Cooper Thomas hit the big 3-pointer. He now has 9 points in the ball game for Cooper Thomas.
And really, this has been what's keeping Hardin Northern in this game is they're hitting shots from beyond the arc. New Bremen isn't, even though New Bremen's got the 4-point lead.
Yeah, the Polar Bears have made now 4 3-pointers. 1 in the first quarter and 3 here in the second. New Bremen just 1 for, well, they're 0 for 7 in the first quarter and 1 for 2. It looks like 1 for 3 or 4, so maybe they're 1 for 11.
So we have a foul on Tiemann, and going to the line will be number 15, Cooper Thomas.
Just the 2nd foul of the quarter against New Bremen, the first on Tiemann. Cooper Thomas, again, just scored the triple in the right corner, now going to the free throw line for 2 shots, 6'1" senior.
And Jackson Leonards will return to give Aaron Tiemann a breather. So the free throw is up and good. For Thomas, him and Xander Wilson have scored all but 3 points. Dickey with the basketball. Dickey gives it back out to Quellhorst. Trying to get it to Leonards on the inside. Ball deflected around, and Hardin Northern pokes it away.
Nice defense by the Polar Bears. They forced the 4th New Bremen turnover of the quarter, the 6th of the half.
28. Go ahead.
Just again, here they are down 3
Yeah.
points, and the Bremen's had some chances but couldn't open up the spread, and Polar Bears have come back to hit some big shots to, again, stay close, and that's all you can ask for right now. And see what happens. The longer you stay close, the more the pressure kind of builds for the Cardinals. Again, nice passing.
For the tie, three-pointer from the corner is no good. Wiedemann there to clear the boards. Rylan Bussey, full head of steam to the basket, baseline pass. He's going to be fouled.
Yeah, I thought it was a good call. Cooper Thomas just didn't get over to the baseline quick enough to stop the forward progress by Bussey. So it's a non-shooting foul. It's a 3rd foul of the quarter for Hardin Northern. 2nd foul on Thomas.
Leonard's from the corner. New Bremen just can't get those threes to fall. Despite them scoring 28 points, they've just really struggled to shoot from beyond the arc here so far. Can this end the spell? No, it cannot. But they get an offensive board from Wiedemann. Wiedemann, the corner to Dickey to Quellhorst. Got to go quickly if you're New Bremen. Rylan Bussey loses the basketball. Half-court shot at the horn is no good. New Bremen leads 28-25 heading into the halftime break. We'll step aside, come back with our first half stats and recap, bringing the second quarter of action here next on NK Choco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Hometown Opportunity serves Mercer County, Auglaize County, Darke County, and Shelby County.
The website as a whole is pretty user-friendly. I was able to filter down my options, see what types of jobs were out there for me in the area.
It really opened up my eyes to the employer market around here.
We know that our local candidates, a lot of times are most successful candidates because they want to come here and stay.
It's become the go-to site for anybody looking for a job in the region.
Halftime here at the Nest, and the New Bremen Cardinals holding on to a 28-25 edge over the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. Let's take a look at our first half stats powered by Grand Lake Health Systems, and with those stats, Mr. Jeff Inchin.
Thank you, Brandon. First half shooting for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. 6 of 12 from 2-point range, 5 of 12 from 3-point range, so very impressive. 11 of 24 for 45%. Again, 5 of 12 3-point shooting for the Polar Bears. New Bremen, 11 of 16 2-point shooting, 1 of 13 3-point shooting. Overall, 12 of 29 for 41%. Hardin Northern, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. New Bremen, 3 of 5. Rebounding, Hardin Northern had 14 rebounds. Two of those were offensive rebounds. New Bremen, 16 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. They were able to score 2 points off those second chance opportunities. Turnovers, Hardin Northern with 10. And of those 10, New Bremen cashed in on 4 points. And New Bremen committed 7 turnovers with no points coming off turnovers for the Polar Bears. So a half that, Brandon, we saw New Bremen kind of open it up by 8. And you're thinking, okay, here goes the double-digit lead. Next thing you know, Hardin Northern right back to within 5 or 3. And they've hit some shots. Again, the 5 of 12 from beyond the arc. They were a very good 7 of 8 from the field in the second quarter. So one thing that's hurt Hardin Northern a little bit, as much as they've done right, is in the second quarter they did have 7 turnovers. So that did limit their ability to get some shots off. And but a good spot for the Polar Bears, I think, to be in here at halftime to start the third quarter down by just 3 points.
Now Hardin Northern back in that zone, and they're very excited here to start this second half as they're keeping it really competitive with New Bremen, and it's off of Hardin Northern. Ball's going to stay with the Polar Bears.
For New Bremen, first half scoring, 6 from Hayden Zeller, 4 apiece from Tiemann, Leonards, and Putoff. 3 apiece from Nelson and Bussey, 2 apiece from Muther and Wiedemann, their total of 28. So a number of players scoring, good balance there.
And 3-pointers were tough to come by in the first half, but a weak side rebound stick back by Hayden Zeller bumps him up to 8 points on the night.
Offensive rebound opportunity, he takes advantage of it. And he's only missed 1 shot, has Zeller tonight. He's 8 points, as you mentioned, on 4 or 5 shooting.
Northern with the basketball, it's Landon Weirwell. It's a ball on the right side over to Mason Stewart.
For the Polar Bears, 12 points from Xander Wilson first half. Cooper Thomas with 10. Noah Hobson with 3, their total of 25.
Again, just that first half shooting number. We know New Bremen likes to shoot their threes, but just wasn't able to connect, only able to connect on 1 from Henry Nelson.
His first of the year.
Yeah, and that just limited and jump-starting really these Cardinals trying to pull away that first half.
Patient ball movement here by the Polar Bears. Ooh.
On the inside.
Good hands.
Tipped.
Muther saved a high-scoring opportunity. You mentioned the three-point shooting to Bremen. This year they're shooting just 29% from three-point range. I don't know that they've really been statistically a great three-point shooting team over the years. One thing they do well is rebound. And I think sometimes, we'll shoot threes because we figure we've got guys in the middle. They'll come up with the offensive rebound and give us multiple looks.
Keaton Putoff to the basket will score in transition. Keaton Putoff, the senior, with 6 points now.
Well, the Cardinals get a couple buckets here, and they get that one in transition. They beat the Polar Bears back on defense and get a nice hoop from Keaton Putoff.
Ball in the short corner. Hardin Northern rotates it on the inside, sticking with it. There is Xander Wilson, and he gets the bucket.
They take advantage of their opportunity, and they score their first points on offensive rebounds from Wilson.
Zeller up over to Rogan Muther. Muther on that left side, over to Keaton Putoff. Back over to Tiemann in the corner to Rogan Muther. He drives baseline. Kicks out Tiemann. He's going to fire a long 3, and there it goes. There was one due to fall for the New Bremen Cardinals, and Aaron Tiemann hits it.
He now has 7 points. That's his 14th triple made, or 14th three-pointer made on the season. He's a 33% shooter from that range. He's 1 of 3 tonight, right on his average of 33%.
35-27 now on that First National Bank Think First scoreboard. 5.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter between New Bremen and Hardin Northern.
Here's that margin, Brandon, 8 points. Where if Hardin Northern doesn't score, New Bremen has a chance to push it into double figures, and at least mentally you like to keep your deficit in single digits. So an opportunity here, a big possession for the Polar Bears to try to get some points on the board and let your defense maybe go back to work and get a stop against the Cardinals.
Ball's kicked, and it'll stay here with Hardin Northern. And talk about it and take a look at this New Bremen team. They're going to be tested coming up here, their schedule coming up. They have Delphus, who comes here to the Nest Friday. It's a game you can catch here in Kateselka with the Elwer brothers. Saturday they go play Rushi, which is arguably one of the top teams in the state. And as the shot is hit there by Hobson. And then they got Coldwater coming up too, who's undefeated right now. So New Bremen really, this schedule is, while it's been hard so far, it's going to even get harder.
Yeah, not very many. You got to come to play, and they've played some great competition already. They've suffered some losses in doing so, and maybe they'll continue to grow, but there's a reach around foul on number 14, Xander Wilson. But that schedule really, you got to come to play every night, but that schedule, the opponents you have coming up, you got to think, man, you're the underdog, and probably the underdog in those games.
Putoff wide open in the corner. He'll hand it off to Zeller. Zeller driving on the baseline, and he'll score. There was about 3 Cardinals open, and Zeller took the shot, and he connects, and he's in double figures.
Zeller, a 6'5" center, a little bit of advantage there, kept it ball high, and he's been very efficient when he's taking the shots tonight. He now has 10 points in the ball game on 5 of 6 shooting.
Trying to go on the inside. Shot is good. There for Xander Wilson, who's up to 16.
Polar Bears continue to fight. And Wilson, just a 6-foot junior, going into the middle against the Cardinals, draws a contact.
Rylan Bussey will come in.
New Bremen foul on Jackson Leonards, his first, team's first.
At the line, he cans the free throw.
Nice quarter for Wilson. He had 12 at half. He's got 5 already here, 17 in the game.
Tiemann driving to the basket. They're going to call block. Counted and 1. There for Aaron Tiemann.
Good job of Tiemann avoiding that straight-on contact. It's always a tough call. It looked like the defender was kind of standing there, but when Tiemann shifted his momentum and went diagonally, it looked like it wasn't direct on contact, and the call goes against the defender. And that's a third foul on Cooper Thomas. He's one of their leading scorers at 10 points tonight. He'll sit down.
Free throw no good. Putoff gets the rebound, and it'll stay with New Bremen. Yeah, but third foul there for Thomas. And talking about a little bit of an interesting development, him along with Wilson have been the go-getters.
Yeah. And New Bremen uses their height there. Putoff kept the rebound alive, and the Cardinals don't capitalize on it, but another offensive rebound for New Bremen.
39-32, 3:52 to go here in the third quarter. We're still staying in that zone defense. With the ball on the inside, jump shot's no good. Rebound down to Zach Wiedemann. Tiemann goes cross court over to Rylan Bussey on the inside. Kicks it out. Jackson Leonard's in the corner, going to fire a three, and the woes of three-point shooting continue for the Cardinals as Bussey gets the weak side rebound and sticks it back in.
As I mentioned before, statistically, the games I've covered, they're not like a great three-pointing team, but they have people that can rebound his missed shots. Rylan Bussey there to take advantage of it. He scores his 5th point on an offensive rebound, second chance for the Cardinals. That's 4 points here in the quarter, and the Bremen's gotten off offensive rebounds.
We saw that in the JV contest, too, a lot. You bring up a great point. They do rebound well, even off the missed threes, which inspires you can continue to take it if you're going to get second chance opportunities there a lot of the times, if you're maybe not connecting from three like they aren't tonight. Shot no good. Rebound down to Rylan Bussey. Bussey looking to attack in the open court. He's got a full head of steam to the basket. It's tipped in. Will stay with the Crimson and Gold.
Cardinals were 1 of 13 in the first half shooting three-point range. They're 1 of 4 here in the quarter, so 2 of 17, and we haven't seen any signs that would tend to make you say, hey, we're going to stop that. We're going to do something different. Sometimes that might be the best offense. Shoot it, let our big guys, let our rebounders go after it and score off that. So the New Bremen's been successful doing that tonight. And again, you got to keep shooting to find your rhythm.
Gavin Quellhorst comes back in on Gavin Dickey.
Back-to-back turnovers.
Grant Dickey back in the lineup. I said Gavin Grant Dickey. Tiemann loses control but kept his dribble. Nice job by him to keep it alive, and Coach Corey Stevens takes the timeout. We'll take it with him. 2:17 to go in the third quarter here. New Bremen ahead of Hardin Northern, 41-32 on your home for New Bremen Cardinal basketball and K-Telco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Coming out of the precision strip timeout, the New Bremen Cardinals lead the Hardin Northern Polar Bears 41-32.
I think 9 points now matches or is the biggest lead of the ball game for the Cardinals, so they have a possession here to really get that into double digits, and that's a mental, mark, if you will, as they try to get a set play to Zeller, and good defense by number 14, Xander Wilson, got a hand on the ball and caused a second turnover of the quarter for the Bremen Cardinals. But this is another big possession. You got to have Polar Bears need to score to timeout Polar Bears.
And now we take a timeout here, and all timeouts again brought to you by Precision Strip. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on NK Telco Sports. They are CarriageWorks, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Koki Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, the Minster Bank, Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank, Keys to the Game, Keel Pizza. Our timeout sponsors, Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Jeff and I will bring to you from New Bremen, is brought to you by NK Telco, and our mid and post game stats are powered by Grand Lake Health Systems. And our Bremen Live View sponsor right here in New Bremen is Speedway Lanes. So coming out of the precision strip timeout, what do you think the purpose was of Coach Thomas taking that timeout so quickly to the last timeout?
I think maybe just get on pace. He understands there's a big possession to keep that lead, reduce it to 6 or 7. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. They've been playing well. They do cause that turnover. Do get a turnover, though. That's going to be unfortunate as the Bremen capitalizes. So, obviously, the timeout didn't want that to happen, and unfortunately, the Bremen had a nice effort there. Good defense by number 14, Grant Dickey.
Three-pointer, no good there from Kristen Rostifer, who scored 13 points in that JV contest. Cardinals not very much spacing there. You get a little open here. Here's Quellhorst from beyond the arc. Shot no good. Bussey gets the strong side rebound, trying to go up, and they're going to call it on the floor.
5 offensive rebounds here in the quarter for New Bremen. The foul won't give them a free throw shooting opportunity, but again, it keeps the possession alive. They're already cashed in on 4 second chance points here in the quarter.
Ball into Rylan Bussey. He tries to back down in the lane. They try to kick it out to Quellhorst. And a turnover for the Cardinals. Keaton Putoff returns for New Bremen. Under a minute to go here. Double-digit lead for the Cardinals, their largest of the game. Trying to work on the inside. That ball's taken away. Gavin Quellhorst with it. Quellhorst goes to the basket. Shot no good. Put off there on the cleanup, and stick back gets it in.
Good follow-up by Keaton Putoff. You don't want your teammate to miss it, but you have to always assume he might. Putoff did exactly that. He didn't run under the bankboard. He stayed right where the rebound might come to, and he did a good job of catching and scoring his 8th point.
And a reach there on Putoff. Good call by the official. And yeah, you alluded to that, how New Bremen does a good job rebounding, and that's stuff that is emphasized in practice, and the kids just have to do it themselves. And
it's not by luck that those things are happening. You have to have some idea of where the basketball might go based on playing experience. They force a good turnover there. Good hands by Putoff.
Shot no good by Putoff. Caroms around down over to Rylan Bussey.
7 offensive rebounds here in the quarter.
Wiedemann's going to fire a 3. He cans it. Buries it from the left wing. Zach Wiedemann with 5.
2, 4, 6, 9 points now in the quarter coming off second chance opportunity. So excellent job by the Cardinals.
And shot no good at the horn. New Bremen has opened this game up with a 48-32 lead here for the New Bremen Cardinals over the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. We'll step aside, come back to the fourth quarter of action here next on NK Telco Sports.
Crown, your hometown global leader in the material handling industry, named one of America's best in-state employers of 2023 by Forbes magazine, has positions available in engineering, marketing, sales, IT, and more. We offer a full range of employee benefits, competitive wages, advancement opportunities, and ongoing training. Join our growing team of 18,000 plus employees. Visit crown.jobs and apply today, or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Beginning of the fourth quarter of action here between Hardin Northern and New Bremen, and now we've seen kind of New Bremen open up this ball game like they've been trying to the whole first half, Jeff.
It's kind of what maybe the Bremen was thinking or hoping they would have in the first half already, but took them a while to get moving. But points in transition now, that's another turnover. That's 4 points in the half. The Cardinals have got on like open offense off a turnover, and they also came, as I mentioned, with 9 points coming off offensive rebounds in the second quarter, and those really helped New Bremen outscore the Polar Bears 20-7 in the third quarter. You mentioned the JV game. The Cardinals had a big third quarter. It wasn't quite as impressive as the JV Cardinals, but still a 13-point differential has opened up the ball game.
Yeah, and exactly. Just a big quarter. They were trying to get that. They knocked down a couple three-pointers. We talked about how they struggled from beyond the arc. 1 of 13 from beyond the arc that first half. So a better shooting quarter there for New Bremen. They get a bucket from Tiemann to start the fourth quarter with an 18-point lead now.
Cardinals with 2 of 5 from three-point range in the third quarter.
And that three looked good as soon as it left Tiemann's hands. And now New Bremen starting to pull away.
14 points for Tiemann, one above his season average of 13, and that's his second made three-pointer of the night.
Ball in the left wing. And now these Cardinals now starting to overwhelm Hardin Northern. There's a three-pointer from the corner is good. Again, it's Xander Wilson who has 20 points and leads all scorers.
That was a tough shot, too. The left-hander, he had to catch it and kind of spin his body, reverse around, and then hit the shot in a deep corner. But he did it, and Xander Wilson, 20 points on the night. He's made 1, 2, 3 three-pointers. In fact, he hasn't missed. I think he's 3 for 4, up 3 for 5 from three-point shooting, and he's made most of his two-point shots. So a pretty good offensive night for Xander Wilson, the 6-foot junior.
Leonard's on the inside. Leonard's trying to go to the basket. His shot no good. Hardin Northern trying to push the break. Just over 6 minutes to go, and that ball's stolen. Bremen's got a 2-on-1 break.
Nice bounce.
Oh, yeah. That was a great job there by Dickey.
He gets the assist. Yeah. And that's, again, no points off turnovers. Yeah. That's 4 here in the quarter, 6 in the game, or 6 and a half, plus 4 in the first half. So New Bremen's taking advantage of their turnovers they've created in 10. Let's call them fast break points.
Yeah. It was a nice shot. He pulled the defender out like he was slowing down, and then does the nice fake bounce pass. The bounce pass over to Aaron Tiemann. You were saying a good bounce pass.
It would not have got through there if it wasn't a bounce pass.
Yeah. Three-pointer put off, no good. Long rebound caroms down over to Mason Stewart. Hardin Northern trying to go in transition. It's deflected and will stay with the Polar Bears. Hardin Northern again 1-6 on this season. A lone win over Calvary Christian.
0-1 in the Northwest Central Conference that they compete in. An hour drive for them tonight from Dola to New Bremen.
Shot in the corner, no good. Rebound down to Leonards. And Coach Stevens has got a timeout. We'd like to remind you that NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of varsity basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app. You can catch the replays of this game on Channel 151, January 2nd at 6 p.m., and on Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503, January 13th at noon, and January 15th also at noon. You can also watch more games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. So coming out of the precision strip timeout, a 55-35 lead here for New Bremen. And like we said, they're really starting to open this game up, Jeff.
Yeah, the big third quarter really squelched the momentum that the Polar Bears had. I mean, Hardin Northern hung in there in the first half. There were times they were down by 8 or 6, cut it back to 3, and really kind of made New Bremen work at it. New Bremen didn't shoot well, obviously, in the first half, especially from distance, but began to find a rhythm and utilize their rebounding ability to score off them. They use their defense to create some opportunities, and they capitalize on that. And really, that big third quarter, a 20-7 outburst or differential has opened up this game to now what is a 20-point lead.
Aaron Tiemann with the basketball. He's going to fire a three, and Aaron Tiemann continues with the hot shooting.
He has 10 points here in the quarter and 19 on the game, and boy, that was a good, 3-4 feet behind the arc.
Like we said, with the struggles they had the first half shooting, they're starting to make up for it now. And there's a tip. It's going to go out to Keaton, put off. 2-on-2 break. They try to get it up to Zeller. He tries to bully his way to the basket, and Hayden Zeller scores. And now we're seeing this New Bremen team fire on all cylinders.
That's 2 more points. Fast break points opportunities for the Cardinals coming off the turnover. And Zeller having a nice night with 12 on 6 of 7 shooting from the field.
Hardin Northern gets the ball over to Wilson. Wilson's had 20 points. It's over to Hobson. His shot's no good. Zeller clears, or almost good board. He stepped on the baseline. Now subbing in is Rylan Bussey, and some more subs going to get back in. And Zach Wiedemann, Gavin Quellhorst, Henry Nelson, all going to check in the lineup.
That might be the end of the night for Aaron team. And the Cardinals have had 3 games now in 4 days. They played on Wednesday against Salina, won. They lost on Friday against Elida last night in double overtime, and then tonight against Hardin Northern. And, this game, the JV game, started a little bit earlier, so they lost a couple hours of rest, if you will, from a double overtime game that finished a little bit later than usual last night. So they've the starters will get a chance to rest. You mentioned the upcoming schedule for the Cardinals with St. John's, very good. Then Russia, probably the best in the state maybe, and then a very good Coldwater team who's currently undefeated. So Bremen going to have this last win of 2023, but then a big test for them to start 2024.
You talk about some of these games, if some things like free throws or stuff goes the other way, a shot doesn't fall in last night against Elida. They're games where it's like, all right, we didn't get blown out. It's games where we just need 1 or 2 breaks and it goes our way as Nelson gets the rebound. But man, next week, the next 3 games are definitely a measuring stick for Coach Stevens' squad. And you can catch both games here on NK Telco Sports next weekend. Craig Louth will be on the call for Friday as our scoreboard went off. It still has the running time, but
now it's back. But New Bremen, as Polar Bears missed a triple there, but New Bremen lost by 4 of the opening 9, then by 16 against St. Mary's, in by 8, 4, and 2. So those 5 losses, 4 of them, you've got to think, a free throw here, a shot here, or something could have definitely changed the outcome of the ball game.
Yeah, but a measuring stick nonetheless. Delphus, St. John's, and playing them. Craig Louth will be on the call for that. I'll be on the call for their game next Saturday against Russia with Tanya Hammonds, and it'll be interesting just to see this New Bremen team continuing. I got a lot of New Bremen games here in the course of January and February, so it'll be interesting to see how this team continues to grow over the course of the season. Cardinals will inbound it. They get it in over to Nelson, who hit a 3 in the first half. Ball in the corner to Dickey.
Yeah, he hit the only 3-pointer that New Bremen scored in the first half. Good defense by Wilson.
Wilson with 20 points. Thomas with 10. 30 of the 35 points for Hardin Northern. Right-handed hook shot in the lane is good for Mason Stewart.
Well, the 5'10 Stewart had his hands full because Bussy's at 6'3 and kind of went up with him. But Stewart was able to get enough arch on it, use his body like that jump hook, if you will, and get his first points of the ball game for the 5'10 junior.
Wiedemann trying to go on the inside. His shot, no good. Wiedemann kicks it out. Dickey, his shot, no good, and it's tipped out. It'll be Hardin Northern basketball. Looks like New Bremen will get their 3rd win of the season, 2 of them coming this week, and they'll cap off 2023 on a high note.
Yeah, the win against Salina, right on, and then game last night that you called, and they were within a shot at regulation of winning it. It went in and out, and they come up with a big win here on the home court tonight. Took them a little bit to get started, but they have pulled away. And wholesale changes. There's a technical foul on New Bremen. A little bit of chippiness going on between Grant Dickey and also Nolan Hobson. I believe Dickey will get the technical foul.
Yeah, that's the second night we've seen a technical. Elida player got a player technical last night. And Coach Stevens going to get an explanation.
I saw when the whistle happened that those two kind of like gingerly pushed each other around a little bit, like chest, with their hands on each other's chest, and then they kind of walked towards the official, and I think Dickey knew he was going out, and I don't think he wished him a Happy New Year, and the referee heard something and lit up Dickey with a technical foul.
First free throw is good for Wilson.
Wilson now 2 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. Had a end 1 in the 3rd quarter en route to what is now 21 points. Well, that's a lot of foot angle on the free throw there, but
yeah,
you know what? It works.
Wilson connects on both of them and cuts the deficit to 21. He has 22 points tonight. What a night for Xander Wilson.
Yeah, the 6-foot junior, again, he's only missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots en route to that, so he's been very good when he's taken his shots, and nice player. His team's going to fall up a bit short tonight, but a nice night for Wilson offensively.
Ball working around the perimeter. Hardin Northern with it, trying to get it on the inside. The ball's stolen. Ahead, try to get it to Nelson. It'll go out. Ball nearly goes out in the hallway. And getting too antsy trying to push that break there. He just turns it over. But again, New Bremen will advance to 3-5. They'll be back in action Friday against Delphus St. John's here on NK Telco Sports. Hoop and harm there for Riley Newton, who gets the bucket and cracks the box score. And he cannot convert on the free throw. Powell with it, left side to Quellhorst, back over to Wiedemann. Wiedemann up and under, no good. He gets his own rebound. Over to Quellhorst. Quellhorst on the left wing to Nelson. Nelson trying to back his way in, and he scores. Henry Nelson with the left-hander in the lane. Gets his 5th point of the night.
Yeah, the senior hit a three-pointer. The only three-pointer New Bremen hit in the first half came from Henry Nelson in the second quarter. That turnaround jumper now has given him 5 points in the night.
3 no good there as Bremen again 3-5 now, and the season will be here official in 26 seconds.
So the Bremen will wind it out here as Brandon collects his paperwork. The blue off the edge as the clock will continue to run. The Bremen simply will dribble out the final 10 seconds here and capture their 3rd victory. Are you back, Brandon?
Yep.
Had some over.
Papers blow there. But Bremen gets the win 62-41 here on NK Telco Sports. And they advance to 3-5. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors as Jeff tallies up the final numbers. Here they are Carriage Works, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Elmwood Assisted Care, Hometown Opportunity, Heelsman Automotive, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric, Minster Bank, New Knoxville Supply, SecureCom, Bud's Chrysler Dodge Jeep, Crown Equipment, Shelby County Veteran Services, St. Henry Bank, and WCSM Radio. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank, Keys of the Game, Keel Pizza. Our timeout sponsors, Precision Strip. Our player of the game, which Jeff and I will select here in a little bit, is brought to you by NK Telco. And our mid and post-game stats are brought to you by Grand Lake Health System. And our New Bremen Live View sponsor is Speedway Lanes. NK Telco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NK Telco Cable or the NKT.TV app on Channel 151, January 2nd at 6 p.m., and on Channel 3 in HD on Channel 503, January 13th at 12 p.m., and January 15th at noon as well. You can also watch more games live via pay-per-view through nktelco.com/sports and more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. Let's take a look at the box score here tonight for each team. Xander Wilson ends up with 22 points. Cooper Thomas ends up for Hardin Northern with 10. They have 5 from Nolan Hobson and 2 apiece from Mason Stewart and Riley Newton. For New Bremen, they were able to get 12 from Hayden Zeller. They had 5 from Rylan Bussey and Henry Nelson. Also Zach Wiedemann with 5. Grant Dickey and Rogan Muther had 2. 8 from Keaton Putoff. 4 from Jackson Leonards. And New Bremen was led by Aaron Tiemann, if I can tally up the total here.
19.
With 19. So Aaron Tiemann leads the Cardinals tonight with 19 points. And
I'm ready.
And with our Grand Lake Health Systems post-game stats, Mr. Jeff Hinchin.
Field goal shooting for the Hardin Northern Polar Bears for the game, 11 of 23 from 2-point range, 6 of 20 3-point shooting. Overall, Polar Bears 17 of 43 for the game. New Bremen, 22 of 33 from 2-point shooting, 3-point shooting 5 of 24 overall for the game, 27 of 57 for the Cardinals. Free throw shooting, just 4 of 6, or only 4 of 6 attempts for Hardin Northern, 4 of 6. New Bremen, 3 of 6. Rebounding, Polar Bears had 21 rebounds. Of those, 4 were offensive. New Bremen, 29 rebounds. Of those, they pulled down 10 offensive rebounds and converted them back into 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 points on second chance opportunities. And turnovers. Total for the game for Hardin Northern, 19. For New Bremen, 13 of those 19 Hardin Northern turnovers. 12 points coming off New Bremen. So I think 11 coming off rebounding, 12 coming off of transition or points off turnover. So took advantage, did the Cardinals when it wasn't necessarily 5-on-5, but those offensive rebounds and points off turnovers really helped separate the difference between the Cardinals and the Polar Bears.
Oh, let's take a look at our NK Telco player of the game here for New Bremen. And Jeff, I want to give you the selection, or
I've got a number. You say a number.
I'm going to go with number 20. I was going to go with number 22, Hayden Zeller.
Me too. So we connect on that. Zeller ends up with 12 points on the night. Again, he did so on 6 of 7 shooting. He was consistent throughout the night, and had some of those shots where he was contested, had to square up and take advantage of that size ability, and he cashed in with his efforts, and he also pulled down some rebounds. So congratulations to Hayden Zeller, the 6'5 senior, our NK Telco player of the game.
That'll do it for us here tonight. Hardin Northern drops to 1-7. New Bremen improves to 3-5. They'll be in action against Delphus St. John's Friday night here at 6 p.m. That's a game you can watch here on NK Telco Sports if you want to purchase the pay-per-view ticket. And they'll play Rushi on Saturday, also a game that you can also watch here on NK Telco Sports. I'd like to thank our crew here tonight. For Austin Amberg, back at the station. For Jeff Hinchin, I'm Brandon Copeland. For the final time, the Bremen Cardinals defeat the Hardin Northern Polar Bears. We'd like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year here from the Nest on NK Telco Sports.